The night was draped in an eerie silence, broken only by the distant hum of traffic and the intermittent flickering of streetlights. New York City, a sprawling metropolis that never slept, held its breath as an enigma unfolded in the shadows of its concrete jungle. I, Detective Benjamin Mercer, found myself thrust into a labyrinth of deception that began with a seemingly routine murder case. It was a chilly evening when the call came in, leading me to an unassuming alley in the heart of Brooklyn. The victim lay sprawled on the damp pavement, his lifeless eyes staring into the abyss. As I examined the crime scene, an unsettling feeling crept over me. The atmosphere was charged with an unspoken tension, and the air seemed to vibrate with the whispers of secrets waiting to be unraveled. The victim, identified as Thomas Granger, was a man of mystery, and the circumstances surrounding his demise were anything but ordinary. Thomas Granger, a successful entrepreneur with ties to the city's underworld, had a past that begged to be explored. My investigation led me to the smoky backrooms of hidden speakeasies and the neon-lit alleys where deals were brokered under the cover of darkness. Granger's connections ran deep, intertwining with the threads of power that stitched together the city's criminal underbelly. As I delved deeper into Granger's life, the web of shadows grew more intricate. His associates, shrouded in secrecy, hinted at a clandestine world operating just beyond the surface of the city's glitzy facade. The more questions I asked, the more elusive the answers became, and I found myself navigating a maze where truth and deceit coexisted like twin specters. Amidst the labyrinth of intrigue, a figure emerged from the shadows. Sophia, a woman with a magnetic allure and a past as murky as the East River at midnight. Granger's former lover, Sophia possessed a beauty that masked a dangerous intelligence. As our paths crossed, I couldn't shake the feeling that she held the key to unraveling the mystery. Sophia's eyes betrayed a vulnerability that contradicted her calculated exterior. As we danced around each other in a game of verbal chess, I sensed a shared desire to uncover the truth. Yet beneath the surface, a dangerous undercurrent hinted at motives that could either save or doom us both. The investigation took an unexpected turn when the trail led to Granger's business partner, Archie Frederick. A man of wealth and influence, Archie wore his secrets like a well-tailored suit. Behind closed doors, alliances crumbled, and the symphony of betrayal played out its haunting notes. Archie's motives remained elusive, shrouded in a fog of half-truths and hidden agendas. As I peeled back the layers of deception, the case transcended a mere murder investigation. It became a battle of wits against a backdrop of betrayal, with the city itself as the ultimate arbiter. The final act unfolded in the heart of the city that never slept, Times Square. As the clock struck midnight, the neon lights bathed the iconic location in a surreal glow. The convergence of characters reached its zenith, with Sophia, Archie, and I standing at the crossroads of resolution and chaos. In a tense standoff, the truth emerged like a specter from the shadows. The murder, a culmination of vendettas and hidden agendas, laid bare the dark underbelly of power that gripped the city. The echoes of the shots fired reverberated through the alleyways, signaling the end of the enigma that had gripped New York City. As the city awakened to the dawn of a new day, the shadows receded, leaving behind a tale of intrigue and deception. The murder of Thomas Granger was not just a crime solved. It was a glimpse into the labyrinthine complexities that lurked beneath the surface of the city's pulsating heartbeat. Sophia disappeared into the urban abyss, her enigmatic presence fading like a whisper carried away by the wind. The city resumed its relentless rhythm, but the echoes of that fateful night lingered, a reminder that in the concrete jungle, shadows were never truly banished. They merely awaited the next chapter in the ongoing saga of mystery and mayhem. Hi, my name is Ricky Green. I live in the City of Lights, New York, and aim to be a teacher at Edison Academy. It was a dark and stormy night in New York City, and I found myself driving through the maze of towering skyscrapers and dimly lit streets. The rain pounded against my car, creating an eerie symphony of tapping on the roof and the occasional thunderous boom. I was on my way home after a long day at work, navigating through the labyrinth of roads that seemed to stretch endlessly into the shadows. As I drove down a desolate street, my headlights revealed an old, abandoned mansion that loomed ominously in the distance. Intrigued and filled with an inexplicable sense of dread, I decided to pull over and investigate. The mansion seemed out of place amidst the urban landscape, its windows shattered and its facade covered in ivy. A rusty wrought iron gate creaked open, as if inviting me to explore its haunted corridors. I cautiously entered the mansion, the floorboards groaning beneath my weight. The air inside was thick with a musty scent, and my breath formed visible clouds in the cold darkness. The only sound was the echo of my footsteps as I ventured deeper into the heart of the mansion. The walls seemed to whisper long-forgotten secrets, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows that danced across the peeling wallpaper. As I explored the desolate rooms, I stumbled upon a dusty old book lying on a wooden table. Its leather cover was weathered and cracked, and the pages felt like fragile parchment. Intrigued, I opened it to find a chronicle of the mansion's dark history. It spoke of a family that had once lived there, consumed by madness and driven to unspeakable acts. The more I read, the more the air around me seemed to thicken with an otherworldly presence. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging me into darkness. Panic set in as I fumbled for my flashlight, casting its feeble beam around the room. That's when I saw her, a spectral figure, pale and translucent, standing at the end of the hallway. Her eyes gleamed with a haunting sadness, and her long flowing gown seemed to defy the laws of gravity as it hovered just above the floor. I felt an inexplicable connection to the ghostly figure, as if she was beckoning me to follow. Despite the fear that gripped my heart, I couldn't resist the pull of her presence. The mansion's haunted corridors seemed to warp and twist as I pursued the ethereal figure. As I emerged from the mansion, I found myself back in my car, the rain still pouring down relentlessly. The streets of New York City had transformed into a surreal nightmare, with buildings stretching endlessly into the sky and roads that led to nowhere. No matter which direction I drove, the scenery remained unchanged, trapped in an eternal loop of haunting familiarity. The ghostly figure from the mansion stood at the intersection ahead, her eyes locking onto mine. I couldn't escape the feeling that she was guiding me, leading me down a path that defied the laws of reality. Each turn I took seemed to only deepen the sense of entrapment, the cityscape becoming more distorted and nightmarish with every passing moment. As the hours passed, my mind began to unravel. The constant rain and the unending roads played tricks on my senses, and I questioned the very fabric of reality. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, and the whispers of the mansion's dark history echoed in my ears. I felt the weight of the past bearing down on me, as if the sins of the mansion's former occupants were seeping into my soul. The ghostly figure continued to lead me, her mournful gaze never leaving mine. It was as if she was trying to convey a message, a tale of tragedy and despair that transcended the boundaries of life and death. The boundaries between the living and the dead blurred, and I found myself trapped in a nightmarish limbo, unable to escape the relentless grip of the haunted roads. Days turned into nights, and nights turned into an endless abyss. I lost track of time as the haunting roads of New York City swallowed me whole. The ghostly figure became a constant companion, her presence a haunting reminder of the darkness that clung to the city's streets. The once familiar landmarks now twisted and distorted, creating a surreal landscape that defied reason. As I write these words, I am still lost in the labyrinth of the haunted roads. The ghostly figure continues to guide me, her silent plea echoing in the endless expanse of the night. I am a prisoner of the city's supernatural grip, condemned to roam the never-ending roads, haunted by the memories of the mansion's tragic past. The horror that unfolded on that fateful night remains etched in my soul, a chilling tale of a descent into madness on the roads of New York City.